Do you know someone whose very presence feels like a heavy fog rolling in, suffocating, disorienting, and leaving you completely drained? Evil isn't just a fairy tale monster hiding under the bed. It's real. It walks among us, and its favorite mask is normalcy. It operates in whispers, not screams. But with the right awareness, you can learn to hear those whispers for what they truly are. A warning. You won't spot them by horns or a tail. Their malice is etched into their behavior, into the subtle patterns they repeat. And you don't need to be a detective to see it. Ancient Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, navigated a world just as treacherous as ours. They left us a timeless toolkit to identify and guard ourselves against such people. Today, we're decoding those signs. 10 undeniable truths that will help you see through the mask, protect your energy, and reclaim your peace. Are you ready to see clearly? Number 1, the puppet master. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, once warned that a person who fears many things is easily controlled. For the malicious, manipulation isn't a tactic. It's their native language. I once had a colleague who was a master of this. He'd praise me publicly, building me up. But in private, he'd whisper concerns to our boss, twisting my minor mistakes into evidence of incompetence. When confronted, he stayed calm, framing it as helping me improve. I started doubting myself. Was I not good enough? The truth? He wasn't helping. He was building a cage where I'd need his key to feel worthy. The Stoics teach that a virtuous person leads you to independence, not dependency. If someone constantly urges you to follow their lead while ignoring your boundaries, they're not a mentor. They're a manipulator. No man is free who is not master of himself, said Epictetus. Refuse to play their game. Clarity is your sword. Self-awareness your shield. Number 2, the Gilded Trap. Epictetus warned us that dazzling appearances often hide a bitter core. Have you ever met someone whose charm felt scripted? Too perfect, like a performance designed just for you? Their smile is radiant. Their words make you feel seen. It's intoxicating. But charm, in the wrong hands, is a deadly weapon. It's the glossy shell concealing a bitter, selfish truth. Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Watch how they treat those who can do nothing for them. Their mask slips when there's no audience to impress. I had a friend like this. Everyone felt adored by him. But his praise was a transaction. When he had nothing left to gain, he'd discard people, often bad-mouthing the very souls he once flattered. Trust the unease you feel. That gut feeling is your intuition whispering the truth. Genuine kindness doesn't need a mask. It doesn't need a disguise. Number 3, architects of illusion. For the malicious, truth isn't a goal. It's an obstacle. They don't lie by accident. Their deceit is deliberate, crafted to distort your reality and serve their purpose. Imagine a friend who crafts elaborate tales. She once took credit for a project painting herself as the hero. When documents proved otherwise, she didn't confess. She accused you of misunderstanding. This is gaslighting. They make you question your own memory, your own judgment. They erode your grip on reality to seize control of the narrative. Your uncertainty is their power source. Their lies require constant upkeep, like a house of cards. Truth, on the other hand, is resilient. It needs no maintenance. Look for the cracks. Do their stories shift under pressure? Focus on actions, not words. When words and deeds don't align, trust your observations, ask questions, set boundaries. Walk away from a persistent liar. Their web is fragile, don't get caught. Number 4, the emotional void Seneca called humans social creatures. Empathy is our bridge. It lets us share joy and sorrow. But for the malicious, other people are just pawns. They are emotionally tone deaf. Picture this. You're pouring your heart out, and they deflect. You think that's bad? Listen to what happened to me. It's not a one-off. It's a pattern of chilling indifference to your pain. Without empathy, relationships become transactional. You're not a person, you're a utility. They may feign compassion when it's convenient, but their apathy is always waiting beneath the surface. As Marcus Aurelius advised, be the good person you seek. Set firm boundaries. Don't let their coldness make you question your worth. Seek those who celebrate your joy and sit with you in sorrow. If you're seeing the signs and learning to protect yourself, comment, I see the signs. Let's build a community of awareness. Number 5, the soul's prison warden. For the evil, control isn't a preference, it's oxygen. They need to dominate everything, your thoughts, your decisions, your very identity. Marcus Aurelius knew that your mind is your sacred fortress. I knew someone who seemed helpful at first. Their advice was thoughtful, but soon their words were laced with doubt. Before a big project, they convinced me I wasn't ready, urging me to step back. They used guilt, shame, and feigned concern to make me dependent. They weren't invested in my growth, they were invested in my captivity. They wanted to ensure I would never outgrow them. Epictetus said, freedom is the only worthy goal. It comes from refusing to be controlled by what lies beyond us. A controlling person is a tyrant of your mind. Don't grant them the throne. Ask yourself, does this align with my values? Let that question be your compass. Protect your mind. It is the birthplace of your freedom. Number 6, the mirror cracked. Seneca observed that people often prefer comforting lies to harsh judgment. Manipulators weaponize this. They never take accountability. Instead, they craft stories where they are the perpetual victim. I worked on a project that went south. My partner, instead of owning her mistakes, subtly blamed my organization. Her tone was calm, constructive, making me question if I was the problem. They weaponize your trust and empathy. They weave a reality where they are the hero and you, somehow, become the villain. They rely on your emotions to cloud your judgment. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that truth stands on its own. Stay anchored in facts. When they try to shift blame, calmly demand clarity. Can you show me where I did that? Set clear boundaries. Refuse to engage in their psychological games. Their refusal to take responsibility is a confession of their character. Protect your peace. Number 7, feeding on ashes. This is one of the most chilling signs. Epictetus advised us to associate with those who make us better. Malicious people do the opposite. They find a dark satisfaction in the struggles of others. It starts small. A smirk at someone's misfortune. A sarcastic laugh at a failure. Over time, you see, they don't elevate themselves through their own merit, but by standing on the shoulders of those they tear down. I knew someone who reveled in sharing others' failures. When a coworker was reprimanded, she didn't feel empathy. She felt powerful. She magnified their struggles to make herself appear superior. This behavior stems from a deep, gaping insecurity. They need others to suffer to feel better about themselves. But their joy is temporary, just a mask for their inner emptiness. Step away from those who feed on ashes. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, who celebrate your growth. True joy is never built on the suffering of others. It's built on shared success. Number 8. The art of the siege. Marcus Aurelius said, "We are born for cooperation. Our strength is in unity. But a malicious person's goal is to lay siege to your support system, to make you stand alone." I had a friend who, over time, made subtle comments about my loved ones. "Your best friend doesn't really get you," she'd say. "Your family just doesn't understand you like I do." It was gentle, calculated. She planted seeds of doubt, creating a gap between me and my strongest support system. She wanted to be the only person I relied on. This isn't care. It's a psychological siege. The more isolated you are, the easier you are to control. But here's the secret they don't want you to know. Your true power lies in your connections. If you feel lonely despite being cared for, reevaluate. Reach out to those who truly matter. They are your anchor. Don't let anyone convince you that isolation is love. Number 9. The poisoned compliment Seneca called envy the ulcer of the soul. It's dangerous because it wears a mask. It disguises itself as concern, as advice, as a well-meaning critique designed to chip away at your confidence. I remember sharing a huge success with a friend. Her response? "That's great. But maybe next time, push yourself to reach an even higher standard." It sounded like advice, but it stung. It was a cut. They don't attack you outright. They plant small doubts. "You did well, but don't get too excited." "That's amazing, but I heard someone else did it better." This isn't care. It's a strategy. They cannot celebrate your light because it highlights the shadows within themselves. They need you to shrink so they feel less threatened. Trust your intuition. A truly kind person builds you up. A jealous one uses words to tear you down. Surround yourself with people who genuinely celebrate your success, who help you shine brighter. Number 10. The fortress of denial. This is the final, definitive sign. Marcus Aurelius taught that we must constantly work on ourselves to admit faults and improve. Evil people do the opposite. They have an unrepentant heart. They live in denial. When they hurt you, they don't apologize. They have an excuse. They blame circumstances. They blame you. They deflect. But they never, ever look inward. To them, self-reflection is a weakness. Stubbornness is strength. This is the opposite of Stoic wisdom. A Stoic knows that admitting a mistake is an act of courage, of self-respect. If someone consistently justifies their actions, refuses accountability, and never seeks to repair the harm they've done, protect yourself. You cannot grow with someone who refuses to. Marcus Aurelius said, "Focus your mind on people who elevate the quality of your life. Invest your energy in those with the courage to be better, not those who hide in the fortress of denial. Awareness is your shield. Now you see the signs, you see the mask of charm, the web of manipulation, the pleasure in pain. Don't let them invade your fortress. Your peace is your power." If this video empowered you, hit that like button. Subscribe and join us on this journey of growth. And comment below, "I see the signs." Let the world know you're awake and protected. Thank you for watching. Keep your light shining bright. It's the one thing they fear the most. See you in the next video.